Just having a bad day. I don't know.
All right, we'll make a start then. Apologies, I've got apologies from Trevor. You thought Fritz was going to be here? Okay. Declarations of interest. I've got sort of half of one as being a neighbour for the Part 2 planning. I've got no other interest in it, but I'm opposite side of the road. I'll clarify it, shall I? I'm going to object to the traffic. That's what I'm concerned with. So I've just declared an interest because I have. You may have got a similar one if you wish to declare it, but my objection will be about the traffic and not the actual physical building.
No, but how can you, there'll be no reason for you to declare an interest.
Well, apart from the... I need advice from the parish council whether I got to do it. Well, there's no... We'll do it anyway and have done with it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't...
Once you declare an interest, you can't vote.
Yeah, you can.
You can?
Yeah, of course you can.
But you have to declare an interest in that situation, isn't it? Because you haven't got a financial...
No, there's no financial, but there is a...
But Chair, you haven't got a financial...
No.
I've got financial implications as far as development is concerned, so you don't have to declare an interest. Come on, let's be sensible.
No. I don't want it pulled up afterwards, that's all.
No.
Okay, minutes of the meeting of the 14th of December.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
we moved.
Somebody going to second it? We should formally do it and second it. Public participation. Okay.
I note from the last meeting that Councillor Tackham suggested that you as a parish council needed to review and perhaps refresh the ways in which you interacted with the people of the parish, both in the ways in which you disseminate information to them and the manner in which you sought opinions and views from them. This is a suggestion that I could not endorse more highly. I would therefore respectfully suggest that you might wish to defer your planned discussion today addressing the live streaming of parish council meetings and incorporate that subject into the review recommended by Councillor Tackham. However, in the event that you do choose to go ahead with today's discussion, I will provide the following input. Firstly, I know that there are a number of parishioners, myself included, who regularly review parish council meetings online, particularly when there has been discussion of an agenda item of interest and when we have not been able to attend the meeting in person, whether that be through ill health, being absent from the village that week, or having had alternative engagements on the evening in question. Let's face it, the agenda items are only published 10 days or so in advance. In this respect, the facility to review the meetings retrospectively is invaluable. Secondly, I note that one of the councillors compared the parish council with the House of Commons during last month's meeting on public participation, on the discussion on public participation. Having made that comparison, I'm sure he would agree that television and radio coverage of the Houses of Parliament only enhances the public's understanding of the process, and the same must surely be the case of streaming of parish council meetings.
You've got that totally out of context.
Please, let him finish, Jim, please, and then we'll deal with it afterwards.
Thirdly, and finally, I would ask what you have got to hide by discontinuing making these meetings available via the internet, particularly in the months leading up to an election. Thank you.
Sorry, can I just correct that? I didn't say that. What I said was I referred to the District Council and the House of Commons in terms of people participating in the debate live. And we don't do that in the House of Commons, we don't do that at Torres District Council level either. Or at County Council level.
You made a comparison. That's what
No,
I
the
said.
three.
Okay.
The three.
Right, well, that subject comes up a bit later on, so we'll discuss it then. I will correct you in that Councillor Tackham was actually talking about the public participation and where it should come on the agenda.
You might want to go back and review the live stream.
Well,
It's quite clear on.
I know what
how
he's.
you communicate with parishioners.
I know what he spoke to. I know what he spoke to me about, and that was the bit that he wanted to know if I could look at it again and see if there was any way of altering the position. So I haven't done that yet, but I will do. Anything else? Anybody? Anything else? Go on.
Yes, I'd like to add the fact with Facebook, and that came up in the discussions in the last meeting. I find it amusing, if not bemusing, that the chairman would hold his hands up and say, I'm not on it. I don't know what it's about. You can talk amongst yourselves. I find that most odd.
I don't.
Also, you, sir, saying that on a recent chit-chat that was going on about a particular item, only 11 people voted or made comments on this particular subject, which was pathetic. Well, that's 8 more than your thumbs on 6.
Okay. I'll answer. I'm not on Facebook. I have no intention of going on Facebook. And
Surely you should be aware of what's going on.
how? Just a minute. Just. If you're not on Facebook, how can you be aware? No. If
I don't go
I'm
on
not.
Facebook because the bloody nonsense that's on there. Full stop.
I'm not on.
Can I just mention that I do the Buckland Brewer Parish Facebook page. Wendy is involved in the Facebook page and the website. So if there are if there's any articles or anything needs to be fed back to the parish council,
It comes through Joe.
There hasn't been anything so far.
No, it comes through Joe. I'm not on Facebook. I have no intention of being on Facebook. I used to be many years ago when I first started communicating with my son in New Zealand. But I don't have a phone. I'm not interested in it. And there's no reason why I should be interested in it.
But surely
No.
the chit-chat that goes on Facebook, I mean, it may...
Keyboard warriors, you mean? The keyboard warriors.
Excuse me.
Okay.
To you, it may be a load of nonsense, but surely you must be aware of what is going on within your parish.
It's reviewed.
Why leave the responsibility to your clerk to tell you what she thinks you should hear? That doesn't make sense.
She does that every day of the week.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Facebook.
No. You're picking out Facebook, but the clerk reviews every piece of correspondence and all messages and everything else that comes into this parish council. That is part of her brief.
I have to say though, people are very quick to rubbish it.
What?
I've heard it being rubbish.
Rubbish what, sorry?
Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook's rubbish. And it's not.
Well,
I agree with them that we have got a parish council Facebook page. And there should be people, you shouldn't rubbish it though.
I'm not rubbishing it. Excuse me. Whoa. Hang on. I'm chairman of this meeting. I'm not rubbishing it. What I'm saying is I'm not on it and I don't want to be on it. Now, if I don't have that opinion, if I'm not allowed to have that opinion, then I didn't realise we'd moved to a state similar to Russia, where somebody else controlled it. Well, I'm sorry. If there's no freedom...
We're getting confused with 2 Facebook pages here. As far as I'm concerned, the parish Facebook page is one where people actually, we put something out and they respond. The clerk tells us what's happening. That's what happened with Pat, that's what happened with Joe. There's not a problem. Then we have a community Facebook page, which I won't even touch with a card.
That's nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with us whatsoever. And I couldn't care what shit goes on there. And
Whoa. Language, Jim. Language, Jim, please.
I don't use it, and I don't care what they say about it, but I certainly do not involve myself with what they call, because we don't know who even manages the thing and controls it. That's the danger.
There is people who do it.
Right, okay.
I find I get lots of information from the Facebook, and I use it quite a lot myself.
Yep.
It's another tool, isn't it? It's another tool to communicate with people. That's all it is.
David is each to his own, I'm afraid, as regards that. It's not an essential part of the
Well,
duties
it's
of...
just another tool.
It's not an essential part of the duties of this parish
No,
council.
sorry. But it's another tool.
We've changed with this remote communication, and where people years ago used to come put their seats there and speak their minds that they needed to do, and that's what it should still be. We have to...
You need to come into the 21st.
No, you have to understand how a parish council works. Well, you obviously don't. We have to be here. We cannot vote remotely. We have to physically have to be
You should
here.
still be aware of, of opinions that are in the parish. And how can you be aware of opinions in the parish if you're just waiting for one or two people to turn up and say something?
Because they've got the...
Let's face it, in the old days, people would be sitting down the pub, down the road, drinking their pints of mild after a day's graft, having a chit-chat about what was going on in the world and all the rest of it, and then going home and listening to the archers or the bombers. It's not like that anymore. Or at least that's what my grandchildren tell me. Granddad, for God's sake, give me that thing here. The parish council has got to drag itself into the next century. You're not living in the 50s anymore. You're not going to get people sitting on the seat anymore.
Well, yeah, sorry, George. Put your tuppence in here while we're at it.
Well, yeah. Can I just clarify?
Yep.
As I understand it, Joe reviewed the Facebook, the gentleman we're talking about?
The parish one I do, yes.
Yeah.
I'm a member of the community one and I post.
Yeah, there's two, George. There's two, George.
Sorry, can I just finish? So that means we don't have to be on Facebook to get the information from Facebook because we are fed by our clerk who feeds us relevant information. Would you agree with that? Do you agree she does that? Or do you do you understand now that she does that?
I understand it may be a function, but whether she's passing on the information to you, I don't know.
But no, she's passing on relevant
Well,
information
yeah, well,
that regards the decisions that the parish council have to make.
Yeah.
Now, with the clarification from our clerk, do you agree that the relevant information that we may need to make relevant decisions is passed to us from the clerk? I didn't know that until now.
No, not
Personally, my family's on Facebook. I personally am not because of the abuse that I would get, people would get from it. I just have no comment about it. It does its job. It does what it's supposed to do. I have no problem with it personally. I don't know what the rest of the parish council has with it, but that's me personally. But as long as we as a parish council have the relevant information that you're talking about that years ago down the pub thing can be brought in manually, as it can be passed on to us, which we will have to pay the clerk more money to look through it if she has the time and the will to supply us with relevant information. And as this is going out, I presume, on Zoom now, is that correct?
No, not
Not on Zoom, no.
So,
Oh, somewhere. It's going out somewhere into the world.
Yeah.
So I can say that any relevant information that we need as a parish council to make a decision is passed to us from our clerk, who is not a member of the parish council, is a paid member, civil servant, to supply all the information that we need. And I shall propose that we increase her fee to do so, if she wishes to do so, to supply us with all the information that these people want. Is that going to satisfy your cryptic comments at us, who have to stand in front of you people to be elected? We go every 5 years in front of every door, wherever it is, every doorstep, put ourselves up to be thanked or abused or whatever is needed for us to stand on this public seat. We're not paid, we're not thanked, we're doing a job. So do you agree now that the information that we need to make the decisions can be supplied by her to us? Are you happy with that situation?
Yeah.
I think we're missing the point. I don't think anyone's questioning the information that's coming from Facebook. What
They
they
said,
said.
no, sorry. They said, you misunderstood what I said. They said that we had no idea what was going on there.
Well, I think
Probably
what
I
they
agree,
mean by that.
but the information is being sent to us. I don't know how long this has been going on, or whether Pat did it or what.
Pat did it.
It's supplied with us
Pat
what
put it in
we
place.
need to discuss.
But every time a clerk says on Facebook this has been said, it's immediately poo-pooed because it's
Sorry, it's not my name.
maybe not you, but I'm talking generally here because I can't single people out and I'm not going to. But it is poo-pooed. The moment Facebook is mentioned,
Sorry, I
it's
agree with that
poo-pooed.
statement.
I think
I've heard it time and time again.
Not by me.
Well,
not by you.
the overarching point I'm trying to make is that Councillor Tackle made a suggestion last meeting that you guys look at how you communicate and how you receive communications and review it and see how you can update yourselves and your methods and your processes. And I think we're just agreeing with exactly that suggestion.
Okay, we're going to draw this to a close. Fritz.
Oh, Fritz.
Can I just say something? We have a web page, a website. We also are, each councillor has got an email address. Each councillor's got a telephone. There's nothing to stop anybody picking up the phone. And they do, and you'd be amazed the sort of things we've had to sort out.
Okay.
Let's have a look at it. What harm does it do?
Okay. Enough. Thank you.
If I could just add on to that, if you do decide to keep on with the streaming, could you do something about the sound system?
Well, that's one of the reasons we're thinking about not doing it, because we can't sort the sound out.
Well,
We can't sort the sound out to hear ourselves, let alone let anybody else hear.
But that's coming up in a minute, so enough. Public participation is at an end. Clerk's report.
Well, a couple of things. I have had a letter or an email from somebody regarding the last meeting, which I was going to raise at this meeting. I don't know if anybody would like to make mention or shall I just carry on?
Just what was it about?
About how they were spoken to at the last meeting. So, and it pretty much brings up
Is that an official complaint or not?
It's not an official complaint. It is an expression of disappointment in the way that they were spoken to. As you know, I did speak to you after the meeting myself. I have gone back and I have said I will reiterate to everybody the standards that need to be adhered to in the meeting. So I'm just raising that here and now.
Okay.
So that came in and I've responded to that. And the only other thing to quickly mention is Buckland Bank. I'm still going around the houses a little bit with that, but I have made a little bit of progress. I'm waiting for a statement to come in to establish whether that transfer has been made, but I have got confirmation that the signatures have been updated and the correspondence address has been changed. So we're making, baby steps.
A bit of headway.
And that's it.
Okay. Thank you, John. We come now to the contentious subject: live streaming PC meetings.
I've looked on the site to see how many people have actually viewed it. This is just views, so I can't tell if it's
No.
the same person looking at it 40 times or what, or how long they stayed looking at it. It could be 5 minutes, then go to sleep. But, last meeting was 40 views. Time before was 18. 17 the time before, 24 the time before, 44 and another time, the time before, and then 18 it's the last one, and that's over the last 6 months. So that's 161 views, an average of about 27 per meeting.
Can you tell whether UK or abroad?
I can't tell.
Just
anything.
views, that's it.
No.
Okay.
And one of them was me looking at it, I reckon. So
yeah, quite possibly.
I can't tell. That's
Okay.
all the information I've got. But so it is being seen, and I think now whether people watch it at the time or they go back and watch it afterwards, I don't know. The sound, I've tried to get the sound as best as I can. Somehow we got to speak into the microphones. I can't get a microphone for everybody because the system, yeah, but the system doesn't allow that.
Won't cope with it.
No, I can't. I've got two, but yourself and Joe as well. If you could use your lapel.
I think I've got this one working.
Then at least that will pick it up. And if you can, as much as possible, speak into the microphones. That's all. I can't do it unless you want a full size broadcasting studio. I ain't going to be able to manage to do much more. I think it is better than it was.
I don't know who else we could seek advice.
No, it doesn't matter who you get.
I know you're doing the best you can,
Yeah,
but
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who else you get in. They ain't going to be able to do any more.
Right. Okay.
Just as a little, before we discuss this, did anybody find out what other small parish council of our size, 9 members, offers this service
I don't think anybody
in the whole of North Devon?
I don't think there's any, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Honestly, I haven't done any searches, but I haven't heard of
I
any.
don't think there is.
Well, I've asked several councils around, and they all say no.
The history behind it was that when we had COVID, we met by Zoom. That's when we started doing it.
Yes, George.
For that reason. And my own view is that if we want to involve the community, then there's nothing. You talked about being about old-fashioned, somebody earlier, about coming to meetings and all the rest of it. But I'm afraid that's the only way it's going to be done. And I still go down the pub, and I still get hear what people got to say. A few more people went down the pub, we keep our pub, I suspect. But that's another story. As far as I'm concerned, yeah, we've had 1 or 2 little issues, and we don't want to be in the position where we were, where the parish council in Cheshire was found itself on the 9 o'clock news.
You could get that any time. George, yeah, please.
I'm afraid we're going to move with the times, to be honest. When I was ill a few times, I seen sometimes that I do listen on Zoom and whatever. I think you're going to have to go that way. You've got to do that way, and we're going to have to put the preset up to get a decent system, a revolving. I don't know what you do, David. I put my pen right on this. Don't ask me. But you've got to get somebody in here. This is what the public wants.
It doesn't matter who you get.
Even if we never talk to anybody else in the future, sat in the chair like we good people are, then I'm afraid we're going to have to.
I mean, the only thing.
I went on Torres District Council a couple of times.
Yeah.
There's whatever.
Yeah.
I'm afraid they're living. You got to put if you got earphones in, you got to turn them off. Some of them, unless you speak loud.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can do, but I apologise for anyway. But anyway,
The only thing.
You think we have got to, we as a parish council, we've got to move. We've got to move with the times.
Okay, Richard.
Yeah, I agree with George. I've missed the last 2 meetings where I've been on holiday, and I've watched both of them, and I picked up everything that's being said by the panel here. Not so much what was being said in the out there, but I heard everyone quite clearly.
Did you?
And I think it's, and also I've got 2 friends who are disabled who watch it, who probably wouldn't want to come here, especially on a winter's evening. So, I think it should stay. It is moving with the times, and I think it should stay. And, we can always put a notice out at the beginning reminding people that it's being streamed and to watch your behaviour.
Yeah.
We all know when it's being streamed because David informs us when he's turning it on. So I'm not concerned about that. I still don't know whether we should be looking at a different system, even that end, if need be.
Well, unless you've got a kind of proper television system. I mean, what you could do is just pass the microphone around, but that'll kind of increase things. But
Can I just make a suggestion? I think it's the type of microphone that needs to be changed.
Yeah.
These are microphones for an individual speaking into.
they are.
You can get microphones that will pick up.
I mean, if you go in Torridge, the system they use are individual mics in front of them.
Yeah.
You turn it on, you speak, you turn it off.
Okay.
Now,
Do that.
I don't know what would be better than what we have. Microphones are all over the place with different qualities and different directions they go. I'm not a sound engineer and I don't profess to be one, but I would like to see if we could get hold of somebody that could advise us a bit better to see if it can be improved. I know what you've done, David, and I find no fault with what you've done, but it's not working 100%, and I still think we could have a look and see whether we can improve it. I'm not saying we will, but it's worth looking.
Mr. Chair, whatever it costs, you've got to go on the research.
I'm not arguing with that, George. I'm not arguing where the cost comes from. All I'm saying is, can we improve it?
The one thing you've got to be wary of is that this belongs to the chapel.
Yep.
And clearly, we as a parish council can't spend any money.
Well,
on
we
the
can.
chapel.
We
have to find a way around that if we want to do something.
We can spend something on a system that belongs to the parish council. It doesn't have. It's only a problem when it gets handed to the chapel or the church.
Remember, we're taking it from the precept, Mr. Chair. So
Yeah, well, but what I'm saying is, if it remains the parish council's property.
Yes, but then it's the church that can use it, and you've got to be careful.
Oh, I'm well aware of that, George. But then we're also not aware of how much or if it can be improved in the first place.
You can't really have a separate system because it's all linked into that, and it's.
But I just think I'd like somebody else's advice, David. That's all.
Yeah, well,
if we can find somebody.
We did, but it.
And take an action to explore this and looking at ideally a portable system that is not.
Or a sound engineer to advise us is what it requires, Joe.
But you can't do that.
There's got to be a plan, Joe.
Do you wish to? Do you wish to continue talking about this, or would you rather put it to one side and find out what information we can get first to see if we can improve it before we kick it in a bucket?
But it sounds like people are agreeing the broad proposal in principle is that we carry on doing it.
Continue.
If we are the only one parish council, that's something to be proud of, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't argue with that for one moment. But I think it does.
Can I just say, I'm standing down from the councillor. I've served years enough. And there were 9 of us. When I was first started, I was elected. I went around, knocked on doors, we all did. Since then, it's 12 years ago, there hasn't been an election because nobody stood. And we've had to go around and ask people, please will you serve on the council? I have to ask Rosie, please will you serve on the council? If people aren't prepared to come out on a wet, cold evening, sit on a hard chair and listen and speak in public participation, how are we ever going to fill these 9 seats?
Okay. Right, I'm just. Whoa. That conversation is ended. We'll put this to one side and see what information we can find out before we make a final decision on it. If that's all right with everybody. Presentation decision regarding proposed footpath diversion.
I'll make it quick. I think for your benefit, Rosie, I don't think you know about this diversion request at all, do you?
No.
You don't want one of these, do you?
Is
Obviously not.
Is that the one? Across George's, or no?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think I do know this one.
I don't know where that is. It goes down the road.
Which is the new bit, that one?
That's existing. And it did go down.
What you've got in front of you is a smaller copy of that. So
Okay.
the footpath in question, number 2, is this mauve one that starts just over the road here.
Yeah.
and goes up Northwood Lane, cuts across the playing field, cuts across the parish field, and then across George's Field and out to the road. Now what the council requested, and it was before my time, so it's over 3 years ago, was to divert it from this position here, just before the parish field, along the footpath, along the lane, and then up through the side of the parish council field, across into George's Field, and then all the way down the side of the field, in the field, not in the road, to pick it up at that point there. Now, sorry, can you see? Yep. Now, there was a meeting held, and I think you went, didn't you, Jim?
Oh yeah, many meetings.
You met the Rambling Association or someone else?
Yeah, met the Rambling Association and the footpath officer, and they all agreed it was a great idea.
Yeah.
And at that time, the Rambling Association were persuaded that it was a good idea.
Yeah. So this has been going on for 3 years now, where we all believed that it was imminent and it was going to go ahead. Now, once I came on board with the footpath, with all the footpath stuff I'm doing, one of the things that Pat asked me to do was to follow up with this and find out what was happening. And unfortunately, they have no record it was ever agreed. And in fact, the Rambling Association have rejected it. And I did send an email out a couple of months ago.
Say that again?
There is no record of any agreement that we can have this diversion, and the Rambling Association have rejected it.
Rejected what? The present one? I just want to clarify that. If there's no record, how can they object to it? So they've objected.
No, there's no record of them agreeing it. And the Rambling Association, although
they haven't agreed anything. They talked to us.
You have to take it from me. I have emailed you all the information.
Richard, I didn't need an email. I know the conversation. It's been a moratorium, so there have been no discussions on footpaths.
There is no agreement in place for the diversion of this footpath.
Sorry, Chair.
You'll have to take my word for it.
No, I'm not.
When I was chair, I met the local chairman of the Rambling Association, who agreed with us that that was a good idea, that in fact, yet she would support the fact of the diversion of the footpath. Now, Devon County Council knew about that. If they choose to lose their records, that's their fault.
And didn't someone come up with a footpath association agree as well?
Well, we had a footpath officer, senior officer, he's a chap come up.
That's right, and they said that we're not doing anything because
Well, it's about 5 years ago now.
Yeah, but they had a meeting and they liked it, but they wouldn't pass it at the moment because
There was a moratorium,
There was a moratorium.
and there still is.
Yeah.
Right, so let me give you the facts. I've been at the meetings, you could have come, you didn't want to.
Whoa.
I sent you emails.
Whoa.
Let me just get on with this presentation, you can ask the questions at the end. Right, so there's nothing in the system, and the Rambling Association have opposed it anyway. The council have not got any money for any footpath diversions. There's about 80 in the system. So they have no money because of the austerity, and there's more austerity to come. They've got no staff, they've got no money. There is absolutely no way that we are going to get this footpath diversion anytime soon. I've met with 3 layers of management, and they all said the same. Right, so moving on from this, what's happened in the last couple of years?
Sorry, Richard, can I stop you? Also, 5 years ago, they agreed that we could put in what we put in. You know, we put in a...
No one's discussed that to me.
I don't know, but they actually agreed that.
What's happened, this is a blow-up of the parish field area here, and what we've done, we've put a fence in that runs all the way up there, this line here, the new fence, and it's separating the parish field from the proposed line of this diversion that we wanted there. And the stop gates are still in place at each end, here and here. Now, you probably remember, a couple of months ago, one of the members reported that this stop gate was being deliberately left open.
No.
Yeah.
And there was issues.
No.
Go back and have a look at
No.
it.
The other gate was being deliberately left open, not that one.
When I investigated it, I found that this is broken. this gate was broken. The self-closing mechanism had been removed or broken, and it wouldn't shut. It was just flopping. Will you just let me finish? And it's just flopping. So I made a repair on there, and I thought this was a great opportunity to meet the council guy to discuss this footpath again. So I went out, we met, and while we discussed it, I wanted to get this stop gate repaired or replaced. And they've got stacks of them, and they have offered to replace it. So while talking to them, they told me we're never going to get this diversion in the near future, probably not in our lifetimes. So I asked for alternatives, and what they had said, or what I said and he agreed with, was that we could put in a permissive footpath. So instead of actually waiting until we got permission, we could change this footpath at this point, take it all the way up here and all the way down, which is what we wanted anyway, but call it a permissive footpath. We still need to keep this one open, but the council will give us all the signage to show this as a new footpath, but show it's a permissive footpath, so we could go ahead and use it. The only stipulation would be it would have to be closed one day of the year, Christmas Eve, Boxing Day, you know, whatever, when it's not less likely to be used, so it's not a permanent feature. So he said he would do that and give us all the signage which we could put out, and with that agreement, I agreed that we could move this stop gate to the position where the new fence is. So that would still keep this field isolated for the chap who rents it, but then this would be open and the field, the footpath would then flow all the way up through there. That stop gate there I was going to repair, give it to you to fit over here. So therefore we would then have a permissive footway all this way. Now the council agreed that if we do that, it would put us in really good stead when money was available. If we already had it in use and we managed to get the people, get locals to use it as much as possible, it would put us in good stead and it would look good when we came to apply or where there was money available. So that's it, that's what I'm asking. We can either leave it as it is and nothing will happen for years, or we can put this permissive footway in and hopefully divert people round and get what we wanted anyway.
Richard, when you talk about signage, where would the signage be?
Well, what you said, we would remove the signage that shows it's a footpath, and we'd put a sign here pointing that way, permissive footpath. We'd have to make something here, sending them down the inside so that they don't go out the road. Sorry, up here. Right, keep it a sign here as well, and then back here we just rejoin the footpath. So he'll provide us with all that. And I don't mind fitting it.
Right, I'll have my say now.
What I would say there is, can we vote on that?
No. Do you mind if we speak first?
Okay, thank you very much.
Firstly, the day after the meeting when Eric complained and had chained up the gates, I went up and altered the latches on both gates so they would close, oiled them up, cut back the undergrowth that was flicking in people's faces when they went through.
Was this after you locked them all?
No, I didn't lock them at all. The tenant locked them because people were leaving the gates open. The following morning, I went...
You instructed him to lock them.
I did not... I
did. You said it in this meeting.
I did...
I've told him to lock the gates.
I did not say that at all.
You go back and look at the... You go back and look.
I did not instruct him to lock them at all.
I beg to differ. And this is why we need the streaming service, because it's there for everyone to see.
I went up the following morning and removed the chains and altered the latches so that both gates would close because the...
I've got a photograph.
Just a moment! You wanted me to keep quiet and shut up!
You don't tell me to shut up.
Well, please... You wanted your say, now please let me have mine.
Gentlemen, pull yourselves together, act like a responsible council that people can have a bit of pride in, or give up. I've just given up, and so is Rosa.
I'm sorry. I apologise, Barbara. But I'm losing me temper with this.
taking a lot of trouble, and I've got a lot of respect for you for doing that.
Thank you, Barbara.
But we fall out far too much as a council. There are too many sides. People come like this and see us carrying on like this. What kind of compassion have they got us? Think about that.
I agree.
Well, I'm sorry, Richard, you were wrong with your comment that I instructed the tenant to change it. If you'd have listened, the tenant told me he'd chained the gates up. I went up the following morning and removed them. I spoke to Pat, if you wish to talk to Pat and confirm it.
Pat rang you after I rang him, because I found
Well,
them chained.
Well, I went up and removed the chains.
No, you did, because you had no choice.
And I went
You
and...
can't block the public right of way.
I'm not arguing with that at all. But I didn't instruct him to do it in the first place. He did it himself to stop his sheep getting out. But I went up then and altered the latches so that both gates would close that same day. And if you look at the post, you will see that they were done. As regards...
One of them had no closing mechanism on it.
I beg your pardon?
One of them had no closing mechanism and it was open.
No. You're talking about the spring.
Yeah, it wasn't there, so...
Well, just the spring on the gate against George's Field was put there by the tenant in a way to try and keep the gate closed. Only the gate had been forced open and the spring had been busted.
You do realise that I'm going to go and find this information and prove it to you.
You may find whatever you like.
But as long as you know, because I have checked.
Mr. Can we have a move on?
Well,
what about this foot?
I
Can I also say that as I understand it, the officer who offered to give Richard all the stuff to do and create this, what was the word in the special?
Permissive foot.
Then rang and wanted to come up and do it, and you, that he was agreed for him to do stuff, and you actually stopped it.
I did.
But you didn't have the mandate of the council to do that.
No, and nor did Richard to do it in the first place, George. That was one of the comments I was going to...
This footpath has been going on for I don't know how long, and we've been doing it in stages all the way through. And it was agreed Richard took, Councillor Hooper would take it over and deal with it and report back. And he had not reported.
Not reported back.
For your real decision, which you had no right to do.
He
You
did.
hadn't got the mandate to do it. The authority was given by this council to Councillor Hooper to carry on and deal with it. And then to report back not to you, but to the council.
Well,
And then for the council to make decisions.
yes, and that hasn't been done.
You as a chairman are there not to make your own decisions, you're there to guide the work and decide how the decisions are made.
Chair.
Go on.
The comment I would make is that if we go back, this parish council does much more than most parish councils do in a lifetime. When I became chairman of the parish council, we didn't even have a precept. And we've achieved a lot in the 12 years I think I've been on the parish council in terms of what we've done for the community. And one of the things we've done, clearly we've had to, in terms of the austerity period, everything's been shoved down towards us to get it done. But we can't push it down any further, we have to do it ourselves. And we've taken the challenge on, and we've done that. As far as the salting in the roads is concerned, George reported at the last meeting, he made the decision to put 4 tons of salt down. You know, I didn't get any thanks for that, or anybody got any thanks for that. The fact that we could actually get down to Cooper's Water, where we'd have the salt down. I think 3 runs, George, something like that. Yeah, 3 runs. Right. So we give George that portfolio. Then we give Richard the portfolio of the footpaths.
Maintenance.
Well, we gave him the portfolio to have a dialogue with Devon County Council far as I can see, I would applaud Richard, he's done a bloody good job. And as far as I can see, you know, I've talked to contacts in Somerset County Council in the last week, footpath officer there, and they're just tearing their hair out. You know, there is no money. The settlement figure from the government to the county council is going down again. The county council are going to put their council tax up by at least 5%. The children's services are in special measures, that's been announced this week. So you've got all those problems, and we're at the bottom of the food chain. And I think, Richard's right, in our lifetime, we are never going to see this done. Yeah, we started this a long time ago. We talked to Devon County Council when I was chair, and they encouraged us to put in that fence so we could alter that footpath. And one of the reasons why, because people were just ignoring the footpath and using the edge of the field, go round and round and round, exercising their dogs. And clearly as tenants, we're trying to benefit the community because we get rent from these fields, and if tenant wants to rent those fields, he wants to put sheep in there, he wants to be able to know they're going to be safe, and any other cattle that's put in there. And also when he comes to mow the grass, he wants to make sure it's not full of dog mess. Now, Richard's done a great job in educating some of the people in the village about that as well. But I think that this is the best we're going to get. This permissive footpath is the best we're going to get in our lifetime. I can't see Devon County Council, and you're right, what did you say how many got on the books? 80? 80. The contact I had in Somerset County, they're 30 years beyond.
The only footpaths that are being approved are
go through new housing.
New housing, yeah. It's holding the new housing.
Yeah, I understand that. But I think this is as good as it's going to get, and I think this is something that we should just get on and do. And, you know, it's not going to cost us any money. We can suck it to see. If it don't work, we can think of something else. But at least it's not going to cost us any money to do this.
The path is going to go. It's which side of the field of the hedge it's going to be?
What do you?
From where it went before.
What the plan would have been, David, would be to continue up this footpath here and then turn the permissive footpath inside this fence.
So that's
there.
Right. So that's in.
Sorry.
Joe?
We appeared a couple of chairmen.
Sorry?
He's
Are we for it?
Yeah.
Are we for it, Joe?
Well, we are, Joe.
Yes, are we? All right.
Sorry, are we for it?
It's 3.
Three, is it? All right. There's 4 of us here, so we carry on. All right.
Okay. So that would be the plan to come up here.
So
obviously that has to stay open, but we can keep the gate shut.
So it's in the playing fields.
No. It's in the parish field.
In the
between
parish
the
field.
new fence and
All right.
the
Okay.
boundary.
But so you need an entrance holding the hedge, don't you?
Well, George has already cleared this area here.
Yeah. All right. That's right.
So it's cleared, and there's a temporary fence being put up, but we could put the repaired gate from here, after it's been repaired. George can put it uphill, or I can put it up here, and that will give access which will self-close, so that George's sheep can't get back in there, and vice versa. So it will be a clear run through. I mean, I'm hoping people won't come up and use it as a circular route, but, you know, if we can try and get people going that way.
I mean, the only danger we've got, as my contact in Somerset County Council said, was that we could end up with 2 footpaths. But
that's why we need to close it once a year, so that it's not a permanent footpath.
Yeah, so that's it. But, you know, my view is we've got to suck it and see. It's not costing us any money.
No, it won't cost anything. They'll provide everything.
It's not going to cost
and they've got money in their budget to move this stop gate now.
Yeah.
They'll do it as soon as we give them the okay, and then that will open that area up anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, if we don't want to do it, then we just leave it as it is. But it's just not going to happen.
Can we make a decision now, Joe?
Well, our deputy chairman here.
Our deputy chairman in here, are there?
Well, it's the 3rd of the
Well, we better elect a chair then. David, take the chair.
What?
No. I did 6 years ago, I can do any more.
Well, I think you might have to until May. I think you're going to have to until
Do
May.
we leave it until next meeting?
Yeah.
How desperate is it, Richard?
It's not. I thought we were going to have a meeting in January, so
we've got 2
told
meetings in
you
January.
to wait until January.
Well, we could put this on the budget agenda. It's not going to take
We've got
long.
2 meetings in January, we've got the 11th and the 18th.
Well, we've got the budget meeting in January
Yeah,
on the 11th, and that won't take more than, if you do all the figures right, it won't take long.
Well, it's a normal parish council meeting.
Yeah,
When you have the budget,
Yeah.
there's the wash-up meeting for the budget if it's not agreed on the 11th.
yeah.
So you could do.
Well, we normally have the wash-up meeting just because we might have forgotten something as well.
So we can defer that. The only difficulty we've got for this meeting is there is a planning application that expires before.
Well, the problem we got with that, I've tried to get it today on the internet and I can't get it at all.
No.
And as a result of that, my view is that we can't make any decisions on those planning decisions.
So when does that run out? When does
It's the 8th.
the 8th? And that's before the
It's
next
before
one.
the meeting.
It's one of before the meeting.
Yeah, I mean, that's my view. I mean, I've tried 3 or 4 times today to get into Torridge website to pull it off, especially the one about already closed.
And it was also I tried a few days ago.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get on there.
I'll write to the planning department and say, given that the server's been down then for several days.
That's not a bad idea. And tack them on to the 11th of January meeting.
I'll let you know how that goes.
Can I just say to the room, apologise for raising my voice over this issue. I just feel frustrated. I've been working quite hard on the footpaths and other things, and I just meet with obstruction from the chair at every turn, and it just gets
No,
frustrating.
Richard can't do that. He's not here.
What's that? Sorry?
You can't criticise the chair.
I'm not. I'm just saying I need to keep
You
obstruction.
can't do that. You can't do that.
But I'm just sorry that I raised my voice.
The other thing, Joe, is the 20 miles. We had an email from you about the 20 miles an hour speed limit, and that we should register with the county council. They've asked us to register by the 31st of January. I'm never quite sure how we got our 25 miles an hour speed limit signs, because it turned out we had a councillor. What was he called? He used to go around with letters to everyone. You talk about communication in the village. He used to walk around the village with letters, stirring everything up before he became a councillor. And I thought they were going to put 30 MPH signs up, and they in fact put 20 up. And everybody knows, the police can't prosecute you if you go over 20 miles an hour. You've got to go over 30 miles an hour. But Devon County Council are doing some experiments in Newnabbit where they're trying to get the police on board, so they everywhere is 20 miles an hour. I mean, I was in Surbiton really in southwest London the other day, and it's 20 miles an hour on all the urban roads. So that's something we wanted to do, and I'm wondering whether we ought to still register.
I'll register. They're only looking at 5 or 6 areas, and they haven't stipulated any criteria. But yeah, I'll register. So
Well, if we get on the shopping list, we might be bought it sometime.
Yeah.
It's been talked about at the dog meetings as well. But this
I mean, the law needs to. I mean, Devon County Council have got this urban and rural policy about 20 miles an hour on the roads. I saw a jag go down the village today. Oh, good job nobody met him outside here.
So, are we going to adjourn now?
Yeah, I think that's the best idea.
The only thing is, something that I don't know if officially we've been told, but I did see on on Facebook about the fact that Woolsbury Post Office is closed for 3 months whilst they redo it, and they're having the van outside their thing. So we're going to be cut down from 3 days a week to 2. So have we had anything official?
I don't receive anything from Walsall.
No.
No, I mean, this was from Porridge's Council. I saw it on their website, on their
Have you
Facebook.
phoned Phil? Ask Phil what's going on there.
Well, yeah, we could do this.
We could ask Phil Pennington what's going on. I'm not surprised. I mean, I honestly think that it's a bit clapped out that far now. When it's clapped out, it's going to stop. Might be.
But that's the trouble, is it? Because we lost a day a couple, 3 weeks ago, 3 months ago, didn't we? But now, because they need it in Wolseley, we're going to be 2 days away.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
it's quite a lifetime for it.
Yeah. It
But
gets
then,
well.
but then you see, you lose it or use it. You were here when Keith had this meeting in here,
It was packed.
and it was packed, absolutely packed. Solid there at the rafters, and he said, "Well, where do all these people come from? They don't use the post office."
So yeah, so I
It's
think
like
we
the
ought
pub,
to.
innit? You've got all these notices going around the village, save our pub. You know, see them in there.
So I think we ought to kind of officially hear really what all this about. I know it's all there on the Facebook page, but it would be good if someone had told us, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, they don't tell us sometimes. The van's not even coming.
No, they don't.
So can we ask the clerk to look at Facebook?
No, all we need to do is ask Phil Pennington, really, or Robert Hicks.
Yeah, and it's
We talk about communications. You know who your district councillors are? Do you ever see them? No.
Sorry, what was that again?
You know who district councillors are?
District councillors, no?
No. Yeah, there you go. Well, there's another problem, isn't it? Or your county councillor. Yeah.
so they are. So that's the only thing I thought we needed to kind of get some behind that and just find
You
out.
know your name yet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think that people know me.
So, I mean, it's disgraceful, I don't know if Parks Council meeting or not, but, so what we discussed with the clerk, that was going to be ratified, carried forward to the next parish clerk, council meeting.
Well, there isn't a lot, is there? I mean, we've agreed to investigate the live stream and improve the sound.
Well, I've done minutes.
We've done that.
I'll issue minutes.
Yeah.
It's a parish council meeting, I'll
Yeah.
issue minutes. I'll
And then those minutes become formal part of the next minutes, don't they? All right, because you know.
And
Oh, so you're a long way away.
Eh?
So are we actually closing the meeting now?
Yeah, I think so.
We
Yeah.
better, because we can't do the time,
No,
can we?
no, right, so meeting will be closed at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Happy with that? Okay.
See, I'm quite interested in your communication thing because we've got 2 district councillors and you can tell me who their names are.
No, but
Or-
the point is, though, you're picking on us for that, but we've actually come to the meeting